AOA podcast back for another episode. Frankie C's in the house.
What's up?
What's up, big dog? Don Lemon is what is up, my friend.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about him, so we got to talk about him. More on the Ohio environmental accident that continues. We're also going to talk about Fox News, Machine Gun Kelly, and Megan Fox. More on their split. There you go. Swappin couples and trophy husbands. A couple of stories that I found pretty interesting. We'll share with everybody. Skip Bayless says the reason why there's not more black coaches in the NFL is because the white owners don't want to talk to the black coaches' wives.
What?
John Fetterman going away for depression, and Marjorie Taylor Greene strikes
or Green
again.
Taylor.
What?
However you want to write that, that's fine.
When I said what I do, Marjorie Green Taylor.
You wrote MGT.
I got news for you. Fuck her and the horse she rode in on. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. My mouse died, or else that timing would have been a lot better.
Blame it on the mouse.
I am blaming it on the mouse. All right, Don Lemon. Controversial statement. I believe this was yesterday morning on Lemon This Morning. What's the name of that CNN show?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anyway, Nikki Haley announced that she was running for president.
What he said was fucked up. I'm no Nikki Haley fan, but you don't say that shit.
Yeah, so basically, Nikki Haley was out there roasting Biden, saying that he was past his prime. So they played the clip, and then they came back from the clip, and he's like, "Well, isn't Nikki Haley past her prime?" And so, it was the co-host there, Poppy Harlow. What's her name? I don't know. Megan Harlow, Poppy Kelly, one of them. She goes
something like that. Any combination of that.
Yeah. She goes, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "Well," that was the funniest part.
Can we play it? There's a clip. Can we play the clip?
Yeah, I could
find it on Twitter if you want.
I have it. I think I have it. But hearing his turn, hearing people go from, I believe this to people say, if you Google it, they say.
Yeah, no good. All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking about?
That's not a
Can you stop it right there?
Prime for what?
Prime, so she goes prime for what? But he goes, he delivered that with such confidence. Nikki Haley's not in her prime. Like there was such
what are you talking about?
Confidence in that statement from Don Lemon.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Here we go.
For what?
It depends. It's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google what is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
The facts are, Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime, and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to Google or whatever it is.
What?
When is a woman in her prime? When she's in the kitchen.
Oh, bingo.
Don Lemon, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. Again, I'm no Nikki Haley fan, but to say a woman isn't in her prime for what though? Like if she, there's childbearing years, I get that, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about able to run the country. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
There's childbearing hips too, which I wish we would give more attention to. I find that to be quite attractive on a lady.
Okay.
I'm just saying, nobody gives the hips any credit. It's all ass, boobs, and vagina these days. Let's talk about the hips a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Shakira said the hips don't lie.
That's my girl right there. That's why I love her so much.
Okay. So, yeah, it's like, I think he should have been called out way more on that show in that instance. I think they would call it off guard. But he comes back with this lame, like it's not even an apology. So he wrote on Twitter,
What? Yeah. Oh, wait. Before you get to the apology, though, Dunleman's gay, right?
He is.
I'm gonna give him a little break. Then I'm gonna give him a little break. You don't really like women to begin with. I mean, we can't really blame him for coming out a little anti-woman here.
I mean, just because you're gay doesn't mean you're anti-woman.
That's exactly right. But when you're anti-woman and gay, you go, okay, I get it. You have no interest in the women at all. He has
but
no
what he said-
idea.
That's whatever, but that doesn't make any. What he said didn't make any sense. She's not in her prime for what?
I'm going to give him another pass, too. If he doesn't have a sister, pass. A little bit more of a pass.
He has a mother.
He's got a mother. Yeah, that he's got. Yeah, there's no excuse there. I can't
What are we
deny
talking
he's got
about
a
here?
mother. Everybody's got one of those.
Right.
But yeah, if he doesn't have a sister, or I don't know. I will say this too. Let me take a couple of points back from him. Most gay guys do have a female best friend. That seems to be the thing.
Well, I don't know, but he comes back with this lame. Yesterday, I think he wrote it. He wrote, and I quote, "The reference I made to a woman's, quote, prime, end quote, this morning was inartful and irrelevant, as colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it. A woman's age doesn't define her either personality or professionally. I have countless women in my life who prove that every day."
I don't think he does. I really don't think he does.
I mean, I had nothing wrong with the guy, the personal, whatever, until this. It's like, what are you saying, dude? Like, I get you try. You're
Wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's just.
No, I'm just saying there's plenty to be mad with Don Lemon about over
Oh,
the
I
years.
don't know.
He's kind of an idiot, but
Is he? I have no idea.
he's not great. I mean, listen, here's the thing. This is not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Also, I feel like we've all said things far worse than this on this podcast. I think this is a signal of nobody likes you. And, even your cohorts. And like when you look, we say pretty horrible things to each other on this podcast. UI, Janine, Cuddles, Erin.
Yeah, but that's between friends.
Because we love each other. There's banter.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. They hung him out to dry. They could have let that slide right away. And they were just like, hold on a second here. Let's dive into this and, address what you're saying.
Well, I think they should have. They're not going to. He attacked their gender. He was sitting there between two women talking about a woman is in her prime in her 20s and 30s and 40s. It's like, well, prime, you have to be more specific. Prime bowling years? What are we talking about here? I mean, prime softball playing days? What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it was a dumb thing to say.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're talking about running the country as the president, I mean, you didn't say Hillary wasn't in her prime.
But I also say Hillary prime. Boy, that's tough. She might have gotten 3 days if we're all being honest with each other of
I
prime.
don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. You know who I'd love to check with on this is Primetime, Deion Sanders himself. I'd love to get Primetime's idea on this.
If anybody would know, or Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime would know.
Or Optimus Prime. That's a good point. I'd like to convene a council with Deion Sanders
All the primes.
and Optimus Prime.
And just get a prime steak,
Yeah, just have a prime rib on hand. Just
prime rib, put it
yeah.
right on the table.
Just to balance it all out so we could get to the bottom of when the prime is.
Women are not in their prime. That's my Optimus Prime.
That's good. I like it. Oh my God, the set's falling apart. Yeah, I just don't know.
What's in the bag? Just red tissue paper.
Oh, disappointment. It's set dressing. That's what it is. There's no real presents.
I didn't say there was presents.
Don Lemon, though, you could tell he's hated. You can tell this CNN morning show is a disaster and a nightmare.
What makes you say that?
Because A, nobody's watching it. B, I mean, I don't know what the ratings are. I could take a look, but I bet you it's getting the shit kicked out of it by Morning Joe and whatever Fox bullshit they have in the morning.
Probably.
I have no idea.
I've never
what
even
they
heard
got.
of this show. I didn't even think he had a morning show. I thought he was just on in the evening.
Well, yeah, everybody called him out because they thought he was getting booted because really the prime time for cable, not for nothing, is
in its 20s and 30s.
Is that's good.
Ew.
Is 8 9 and 10 o'clock at night. I think he had the 10 o'clock spot on CNN, if I'm not mistaken. So he was kind of that last hurrah of prime time in cable. Morning shows don't do well there. Morning TV shows really, for the most part, don't do great. The ones on cable news don't do particularly well because everybody watches their local morning news show, for the most part, like whatever their local show is in their town.
Now, Paul, to address your thing, Nikki said other people are too old for president. She questions other people's prime. I'm not saying, that she didn't say that, but what Don Lemon said was women are in their prime in their 20s and 30s and 40s. It's like you can't have a 55, 60-year-old woman in her prime to be president. I think that's probably a great, that I don't know what the average age of a president is, but I got to imagine it's somewhere in this, like, maybe I would guess 60.
Oh, the average. Oh, yeah. Well, Obama was like one of the younger ones, and he was what when he got elected, 49 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that. I wonder if there's a thing on that.
Well, Kennedy, I think, was the youngest president of all time, and he was in his 40s. You have to be at least 35 to be president, and nobody at 35 is qualified to run the country. Let's be totally honest. Nobody at 35 is qualified to run anything.
The median age at inauguration of incoming U.S. presidents is.
Can I guess? Wait, can I guess?
You can guess.
The median age.
Yeah, the average age.
I'm trying to think. Over under's got to be 60. Is it under 60 or over 60? I would say the range probably between 58 and 62. Am I in the range?
No.
Older?
Nope.
Younger. Oh, that's surprising. 55?
55. That's the average age of a president on inauguration day.
That's just total bullshit. I mean, how many presidents?
According to Google. Google it. Look it up. Google it.
That's not Frank saying that. That's Google saying it.
Don't shoot the messenger.
That seems a little young to me. I don't know about that.
I guess, you got a few, back in the day, I feel like Washington and all them, they were, I don't think they were old when they were
those guys died at 38. That's
what I'm saying. They were running the country in their 30s and 40s and stuff. I don't know when he was president, how old he was, but they were young back then when they were building the country.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, yeah, but here's the thing. Nikki Haley is an asshole politician, gets a pass. You expect more out of a Don Lemon, And plus, I think it was a knee-jerk reaction from him, too, of just like, oh, there's an attack from the right. You got to attack back if you're the left. And he just wasn't thinking with his brain before he said what he said.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to say Nikki Haley isn't in her prime, that could be true because maybe she was a better politician when, maybe you thought she did a better job when she was, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. I don't know. Whatever her personal history was, for her political history was. But if you're saying women in general aren't in their prime, it's like, that's no good. You can't generalize like that. That's my point.
I mean, I can.
You can, but
I feel pretty confident doing
the royal you can't. You as a whole.
That's true.
As an a-hole.
Yeah. You think he survives this?
Yeah, I think next week nobody cares.
Yeah?
Sure.
I will say I was surprised when they came back the next day and he was on vacation. I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's usually not a good sign when they're like, take a couple days, get out of town. And they like photographed him. He's on a beach somewhere in Florida, I think, or in the Caribbean, maybe. I don't even know.
Well, I think he comes back from this. It's washed over. It's gone.
Yeah.
And because that's what happens with the news. Someone says something outrageous, and 2-3 days later, it's over.
Here's my thing, and I will stick with this till the day that I die. If you want to win, if you want to have a compelling show in the morning, you need to have a compelling point of view. And Don Lemon has never in his entire life had a compelling point of view. Actually, this is the closest he ever got to have a compelling point of view. And if he was really entertaining, he would have been like, Nikki Haley's not in her prime, and neither are you, bitch. So step off. That would have been the response. That would have gotten some like, oh, look at this guy,
So if he he kind of He didn't say that, but he's like, hey, this is what it is. These are the facts.
He cowered like a bitch.
Right.
Like if he
He
would
didn't
have
apologize. He said, I regret it. He didn't say I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Compelling people don't apologize. They don't have to.
Well, he didn't.
I just think that show is doomed. Also, what do they call it? I think it's first of all, I think it's CNN in the morning. They should have called it Lemon in the morning. I would have also taken Donnie Lemon Tits. That would have been a better name for the morning show.
What about Lemonade? Jump on that Beyonce bandwagon.
That would have been nice. Lemonade and tea. You know what I'm saying? Dropping the tea.
Get someone who's named T. Get iced tea on there.
Yeah, iced tea and Don Lemon. I'd watch that fucking show in a second.
Lemon with tea?
Yeah.
Tea and lemon?
Lemon time.
The promos write themselves.
I would also have taken 3 bitches just yakking it up from 6 to 10 every morning on CNN.
What do you mean bitches?
Well, because it's like him and 2 girls. They're just like yakking it up a little bit, talking it up.
Did you just refer to women as bitches?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like in the royal bitches. Like,
No.
you know, we bitches talking it up in here.
No.
See, I'm not going to back down like Don Lemon is.
Back out. I'm going to give you a chance now to
3 ladies yakking it up?
Ladies, women.
I'd refer to myself as a bitch if I was a girl. I don't think that's derogatory.
But you're not, is the problem.
You don't know that.
You can't just say
you don't know how I
identify.
Bitches.
What are you talking about?
You don't know how I identify. There's 3 bitches.
I think I have a good idea how you identify.
I know I don't have a cocktail. I'm a little under the weather today, Frankie C. I'm not feeling too good.
You gotta get over that weather, baby.
I'm battling it up a little bit. Thank God Bird is here. I don't even know. I think I have death in my stomach. My stomach feels like Don Lemon. How Don Lemon talks. It just doesn't make sense.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Ohio environmental accident. This is driving me crazy. All right, so here's the news part of it. Now there's like, what do you call that? Like rainbow glistening, kind of a translucent. You know, when you get like a rainbow reflection.
Acid trip?
You know, like when when you have like oil on the road and it rains and you see like
little, oil slick.
What do you get? What do you call that? No, there's like a word for that, like rainbowy color.
I think it's an oil rainbow.
An oil rainbow.
You got a better word?
One of the bitches in the chat will come up with it. I'm sure of it.
God.
By the way, you know, big bitches on Epstein's Island. I don't know if you knew that.
I don't know what that means.
I'm just saying. Metallic? No, that's not it. That's not the word I'm looking for. It was really big in the 90s. Like we used to wrap our gifts in like this clear cellophane that was like had this rainbow. It was clear, you could look through it, but also when you turned it a little, it had like this rainbowy.
Miss Justice says prism.
Maybe it's prism. That's not the word. Prism is pretty close. Sheen.
Brian the Buchanan Band says sheen.
Let's stop trying to figure out what I'm saying. We're
what
all
the
going
hell
to lose.
You're talking about?
Yeah, we're all going to lose if we.
Something's wrong with you today.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all over the fucking water now. They're just like, look at the water, and it looks like shit. Like it looks like an oil slick on the ground. It just looks terrible.
Oil slick. We said that. What
There's a word for it. I'm going to figure it out 3 weeks from now.
There's no word.
We're going to be talking about Don Lemon getting fired. I'm going to be like, I remember what I was trying to say 3 weeks ago.
Iridescence.
Iridescent.
Raven.
I honestly don't know who got this in first. If it was Misty or...
No, Raven, go up 2 up. Raven has the looks like the Google definition above you.
That? Oh, hold on a second. Luminous colors that seem to change when seen from different. Yes, the Drake's head has an iridescent purple sheen. Love the Drake.
You gotta love the Drake.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the water's all fucked up over there. It's like crazy.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, what are they doing to fix it?
Okay, so here's the thing. A couple things driving me crazy. Everybody on the internet is like, where the hell's that fucking $1 trillion infrastructure bill? The fucking thing, it came out like 3 weeks ago, you know, and money hasn't even got, like people think, oh, they passed the bill magically. What we're fixing everything in the infrastructure of the country was fixed in 48 hours after the announcement that the bill got passed. Like, do people not understand how the fucking world works? Like, bills get passed, then they have to go through committees and things have to be put into play. You know how many agencies and money and all this shit it takes months and years to get one of those things off the ground. The fucking thing is like, where's that fucking trying to keep giving money to Ukraine? Are you fucking stupid? Like, can anybody read a goddamn paper anymore? It takes a while to get that shit going.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what I mean. When did this thing pass? And yeah, you're right. They have to go step by step, fix everything. It's not going to be all in the same hour. It's going to take time to fix everything, to allocate the money, to figure out what's wrong, figure out how to fix it and what to do. And plus, this was a problem, they said, with the brake system or something like that, that the deregulation happened over. And this is what I read, that it happened over Trump's era. He deregulated the whole thing, and then
Obama passed they had the law that they had to have these certain brakes on these trains when they were carrying X amount of chemicals, and it was part of the Trump era rollbacks on regulations.
Boom. So you want to blame someone?
Okay,
it's pretty obvious.
Here's part two. They go, why isn't Biden doing anything? The governor of this state has to declare a state of emergency in order for the federal government to be able to respond. I don't know how much more I can say this.
Biden called the governor right after it happened and said, whatever you need, we will help. And that 3 weeks later.
No, he said, I didn't call him back yet.
Oh, he didn't call him back. I
didn't call him back yet.
How do you not return the president's call, number one? And a guy who's going to offer to help you in any way he can. I mean,
this Governor DeWine is the biggest fucking asshole I've ever seen on the entire planet. Goes, I didn't fucking call him back yet.
If you're running a city.
Even some Democrats have been critical of the Biden administration response. Are you satisfied with the Biden administration response? And is there anything you'd like to see?
This is a question to Governor DeWine.
The administration, as far as health is.
Look, our Ohio EPA works with the U.S. EPA. These are the principal people involved. Federal government is conducting an investigation to determine why this crash occurred. We await that, and certainly we'll be interested in seeing what is going on. Look, the president called me and said, anything you need. I have not called him back after that conversation. I will not hesitate to do that if we're seeing a problem or anything, but I'm not seeing it.
Not seeing a problem?
The fucking water's glowing, for Christ's sake. What are you talking about?
What are we waiting for? I mean, I don't know. You're waiting for the first, two-headed friggin' wolf to come knocking at your door? I don't understand. There's a problem. It's in the water. It's in the river. It's in the ground. I'm not seeing a problem. The fumes.
Crazy?
They lit it on fire. Now everybody's breathing in the fumes. We breathed in worse crap when I was a kid in the 30s. And come on,
this was Frank. It was so bad that on
excuse me,
Steve Bannon's podcast, Steve the Cannon Bannon, as I like to call him.
Don't do that. We've got a Cannon Bannon
on Steve Bannon's podcast. This guy from Star News, I don't know, I've never heard of this before, but he's a big right-wing guy. He goes on Steve Bannon's podcast, who's as right-wing as they get, and even he says that DeWine has been a disaster. DeWine has been very, very slow to respond here, and I don't think he wants anybody in on the deal. I think it's a big mistake, he says.
What does that mean? It's a big mistake to bring in help?
Yeah,
why?
I don't understand it. I don't.
Let's say you're running a city, and there's a huge crash, and all this toxic chemicals spill out everywhere. The president calls you up and says, "I'm going to help you any way that I can."
Yeah,
you're not going to take that help. You would do, if you're running the city, you would do anything you can
For your
to
people.
save your people, the people that you can help. Why would you refuse help?
Dude, I mean, I don't get it. Eric VH and needs a Snickers. Thanks for noticing. I appreciate that. I wish somebody would bring me one.
Yeah, people are not happy with you.
DeWine is a bitter old queen. Where did this twerp come from? That Google said that. Google and Paul. I didn't say that before Frank gets all mad at me for reading the bitter old queen line.
You're reading a quote here.
Is he gay, DeWine? Because I'll tell you what, he looks like fucking George Burns to me. I got all excited when I was scrolling Twitter and I saw, I go, George Burns roast, and I go, oh no, this is the Ohio thing.
George Burns. Missed that guy.
Also, Tulsi Gabbard, and here's the thing too, Tulsi Gabbard pissed me off because she was the same thing with like, where's Buttigieg and the infrastructure bill, and it's like you're in politics, you definitely know better. Like you're throwing political bullshit and mud around when you look. I don't expect Tommy, who works for a living 60 hours a week, to understand how the fucking infrastructure bill gets put into play. But
well, I think he
Tulsi
used to work
Gabbard
on the dock.
should know.
Tommy used to work on the docks.
That's true. He did. He really, really did.
Since the union's been on strike, he's down on his luck.
He's down on his luck. It's tough.
It's tough.
It's a tough thing. Somebody on Twitter, Jack Posibic, put this video up of a train. Now I'll show this. It's just on my screen right here. Hold on here. I don't know if you can see. Oops, let me take that off. There's a train coming down. Look at the track right there.
I've seen this video. This is an old video.
Yeah, and they said this is in Ohio itself, actually.
That's
train. Yeah, and then a lot of people were saying like this is how the trains are, and it's like, well, this is why we. By the way, it's not every day the stupid fucking Democrats and the godforsaken Republicans get together and do something. They got together on this bill because take a look around, everything is falling the fuck apart, and they had to do
biggest
something.
Infrastructure bill ever passed, and then it's the one thing that the Republicans at least the Republicans and Democrats agreed on, and came together and did something.
Yeah, so it's bad. They're looking around going, holy shit, we got to do something.
Yeah, but even when it's bad, I'm sorry, but I know I am biased. I'm biased, but I'm biased for a reason. I lean Democrat because those are the only people with ideas. The Republicans just point out everything and go, oh, he doesn't have an idea for this, or this is a problem, or what are we going to do? It's like, well, maybe come up with an idea to help out instead of just, campaigning on the problem. That's all they do.
And your stomach feels like Don Lemon after New York City Fleet Week glory hole bender. Yeah, thank you for pointing. That's the best articulate response I've ever seen. Eileen, the governor asked Biden several times for federal help. No FEMA, no help, but they'll send our money to Ukraine. See, Eileen, this is what I'm talking about. He didn't. I just played you the quote. He said it in the press conference that the president called him, and he hasn't called him back yet.
He hasn't returned the president's call. The president called him. The president of the United States called him and said, I will give you whatever you need.
And he said, oh, the EPA, the federal EPA and the Ohio EPA are working on it. That's not enough. That's a different animal. You need to get people clean drinking water. You need to make sure they're taking showers in clean water. You need to get people assistance and aid, and you should be in every fucking pond and lake making sure it's okay, and you're just not.
This is a disaster. This is a big deal. I mean, that kind of chemical in the water, what you can't, that's it. Your water is off the table now. That's it. No more water. You go outside, you can start coughing and your eyes are burning. It's no good.
Okay, let's talk about this too. Have you heard? Now listen, we are out of the fact area of the podcast.
Okay, speculation time.
This is pure speculation time. Because I saw a guy I've heard this a little bit, and then I saw a guy on TikTok, and I'm not sure I believe the guy on TikTok, but I want to throw this out there because again, we got a great live audience, and I would curious to see people far more responsible than I to see what you guys all heard about this. But there's a Netflix show about this thing called White Noise. Yeah. It was a book. No, it was a book. And then they turned it into a Netflix show. And supposedly the book is all about a train that derails, and these chemicals get out there and they light it on fire to get rid of it. Now, Netflix takes this book and options it as a show. It's called White Noise. These people who make this show put the train incident into Eastern Ohio, not into East Palestine specifically, but basically in the same.
That's where they said it by coincidence.
In the same geographical region. Yeah.
That's weird.
Now, here's the weird part from the TikTok guy. What's up, Janine?
What's up?
The TikTok guy that I saw pointed out that one of the big majority stakeholders in Netflix, I forget the name of it, I'll see if I can find it, is also happens to be a big stakeholder in the train company. That derailed. I don't know how true any of that is. That seems to be quite suspect. But even the mere fact that there is a Netflix show based off of a book that the show just came out in 2022 where this happened, and it's basically the exact same thing. It's like, how the fuck? Isn't that a little bit of a glitch in the Matrix weirdo situation?
It is weird. Now, it was a book, but they made it a documentary, or they made it like a drama?
Movie. They're it's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, and Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, you know what's funny? I just watched the trailer for this last night, and I was like, "Why does this sound so familiar?"
Yep.
And there you go. And then I saw the article, and I was like, "Oh, well, there you go." But it's on my list of things to watch.
Oh, that's where I put really shows. Good. That's where I put shows that I want to see, and I never actually will.
Right.
No, I mean in my head.
Oh, okay.
In my head, because I do watch everything that I want to watch.
Okay.
You don't.
No.
Are you caught up on The Last of Us yet?
Okay.
Wait. Go.
I still don't think it was as sad as the other episodes.
What?
Sorry.
Are you crazy?
Thank
you didn't think episode 5 was sadder than episode 3?
It was sad. It was more like I got more mad than sad, if that makes sense.
Woke. You're woke. That's the thing.
I'm definitely not woke.
You go woke, you go broke.
It was not as sad.
We're all there for the gay relationship, but as soon as a poor innocent child dies, nobody gives a fuck.
Well, he turned into the thing, the spoiler alert.
Oh, don't spoil it, Frank.
You said Christ. It. You just said what happens. Spoiler alert for the last episode, the one that aired a week ago.
So he's actually in the game because husband knew who he was right away.
All right, don't spoil any. Don't go ahead of us.
I don't know anything.
Okay.
He just said, I said, wait, who's that? And he goes, oh, that's Sam. And I'm like, oh, wait, how'd you know? And he was like, the game. And I'm like, oh, okay. So,
yeah, it was different because, I think the second thing that happened, the shooting, was avoidable. Like it was unexpected and it was sad. But
how was it avoidable?
Because it was, he didn't have to do that.
Kill the kid? Oh,
no,
you mean
second?
Oh, the second one. Sorry, missed that.
Yeah. That didn't have to happen. So that was I get what you're saying, Janine. It made you a little mad. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but look what he
First part
did.
Yeah,
he couldn't live with himself for another moment.
I know, but he had to. He had no choice there. What was he going to do?
But still, it doesn't change the fact that
I get it.
He was justified. You think about all the time he spent keeping that kid alive, and now it's over. I mean, that is a devastating.
I get it, but they were never happy. They were always miserable, scrounging for food. it was a sad existence, and then it ended. And the other episode was they were happy, they were together, they were living their lives, they were, enjoying each other, and it was a nice thing and it was sort of like, it was sad, but it was also like not a happy sad, but like a romantic sad, it was like I don't know how to say it, like I guess happy sad, it was like an ending that came to be, that was like, oh man, but I guess,
Well, what
made it,
TD Freelancer said, Sam and his brother storyline is way different than in the game, and that's what also Roommate said too. So,
well, I don't know what it is in the game, but in the show, I thought it was like, it's horribly tragic. And okay, and here's the other thing I feel like you're missing. Remember what the little girl does to the boy before she falls asleep?
I know, but that didn't. We all knew that wasn't going to do anything.
Well, we don't know now because there's this big cloud hanging over of, is she really?
It's a little more complicated than that. You can't just do that and expect it to happen. You need some kind of, scientist to work with that. You can't just go bloop and you're cured.
Well, I don't know, but it doesn't bode well. Here's the other thing. Who's the main guy? Joel. Okay. Now Joel is fucked because you saw what happened to him in episode 1, right? And then what happens to him in episode 2. Okay. Yep. And now in this episode, he comes to realize, and they say this in the little recap after. Did you see it? They talk about the show after.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to realize that he's the two brothers. He's now in that situation. He has her. She is his responsibility. And he's got to make sure he sees this whole thing through. And all the guy is surrounded by, himself included, and everybody around him, is everything being taken away. Everything is constantly being taken away from them.
Yeah, but his priority, the priority is this girl. If he can get her to where she needs to be, that's his mission. And it sucks when the other shit happens. It's terrible. It's sad. He has to keep going. That's what he's doing. That's giving him some kind of purpose. And going to see his brother.
But it's so much easier when you don't have somebody, like, again, go back to what happened to him in episode 1. You can't. You have to be able to take care of yourself in this world.
Of course.
When you're dependent on somebody else, you're probably not going to make it. And now he knows that for sure. And he's got to live with that now for the next however long he's alive.
Right. But he could, to be honest, he should have. If we're pulling out spoilers here, he should have already lost her a couple of times. But since she is who she is, she got away with it.
She's more likely to get killed by
anybody else,
a non-zombie, than a zombie.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. Can I tell you another thought I had? I will be upset if this goes more than once. Like, this should be a 1-season show.
No, I want it to keep going. If I want it to keep going, maybe with different characters, like the next season follows a different person on their path.
I don't know. I think we got to treat this the way the British people do. Let's just tell the story and get out. Forget about the province.
Done.
Yeah, the British know how to end a fucking show. They know when it's time to go.
Yeah, but this has staying power. This is one of those. It's not like Walking Dead. This has the fan base. It has.
Yeah, but you want to turn it into Walking Dead.
No, I don't want. No, I never wanted to be Walking. No, I never wanted to be Walking Dead, but I wanted to go for a while. I'd like to see maybe, we introduce other people and we get to their stories and stuff. And, we have them travel. The one thing that went wrong with The Walking Dead is they civilized too quickly. Once they got into a community, all interest went away from me because it stopped being a zombie show. That's what we wanted. We wanted this sci-fi horror genre, and we got, people living in a community working on how to make bullets and how to grow food. And it's like, I get that, but give me some zombies. Give me people running and hiding and fighting zombies and hiding in abandoned places and all this stuff. They had a lot of that in the beginning. The first couple of seasons were, when they were on the farm and they were in the city, and then they went to the prison and the CDC lab. That was all interesting stuff. But then they got into the communities, and it was like, yeah, I get that you have to fear the living people too, but it became more about them.
Wait, let me ask you, when did you stop watching?
The Walking Dead, I stopped after Rick left the show.
Okay, so I stopped watching when spoiler alert. When they captured that, what's his name? That guy with I'm forgetting his name now. The baseball bat covered in barbed wire.
Negan.
When they captured him, that's the last season. I think that
that wasn't the last season.
No, I'm saying that's the last season I watched.
Oh. Yeah, it was every now and then it was good. They had a good episode here and there. Then they had one whole episode about the guy learning how to practice with his bow, and I'm like, right. You could have peppered that in. You know, make a whole episode about that. It was like the Paris episode for The Sopranos.
Well, I'll tell you something. I definitely believe, like, if we were overrun by zombies, that we would have to fear the living more than the dead. Honestly.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Absolutely.
Definitely.
But
especially those damn Republicans. Whew.
I liked the when everything went to hell and they had to move on to the next place. That was when it became interesting. But when it became this huge town of regular people, and it was like, it's not really too many threats. All right, there's a faction out there that's kind of a threat, and zombies are kind of used as props now. I'm like, that's when it ended too late. I think a couple of seasons too late. They
that's what they said. But I'm trying to figure out what season I ended. Was it 9 or 10?
I don't know, but they went way too long.
Is it done?
Walking Dead's done. Yeah.
Are you done with the spoiler alerts?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I didn't even know you were doing that.
Yeah, I like to go in cold. TD Freelancer. This is one of the 10,000 shows I mean to watch and we'll never get to. TD Freelancer. There's The Last of Us 2. There's enough content for a second season.
Boom. Mm-hmm.
That's what he says. So.
Do we know how many episodes this first season is going to be?
No, I don't. I don't want to. If anybody does know, I don't want to know. I hate knowing that. I don't know if it's 8, it's 10, it's 12. I want to be surprised.
You don't want to know when it's over for the season?
No, and I hate when they go the finale. No, don't tell me that. I want to be cold. In every episode, I want to be cold.
No, because when you watch the last episode, you don't want to be like, all right, I'll just catch the next one and we'll pick it up. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, a year later. You don't want to get smacked in the face with that when you're.
I want to get smacked in the. Yeah, I do want to get smacked in the face.
That's not a good feeling.
I love it. Robin, Weekend at Bernie's, best zombie movie ever. I agree.
Totally.
Also, you know what was the most?
That made Cuddles laugh. Go ahead.
The most recent best zombie movie, The State of the Union. Boom!
Oh shit!
Tell D that one. Tell D that one.
She'll watch it on the replay.
Yeah, I like to. Thank you. I like to go in fresh. I don't want to know anything.
Still, I like to go in fresh.
Yeah, I hate it. You want to know what I hate about my wife the most? She just walked in the room.
You hate that she walks in the room?
We'll sit down to watch a thing, and if I see her pick up her phone, it took me a while to catch on to this. This piece of shit will Google the fucking movie to find out what happens in the end.
Why would
as
you do
we
that?
start watching it. You do the same thing? What is wrong with you?
Why would
I don't
you do
understand it. I don't. Women love a mystery. They love to catch a man cheating and solve a murder mystery in the world, but fucking sit for a 90-minute movie and wait till the ending. They can't do it. It's beyond me.
That is crazy.
So I know. Okay, especially with a series, I know I have a problem. I like to read reviews of each episode, meaning I like to go in and go. Maybe I missed that because I was on my phone, or whatever. I'm reading, and then sometimes I'm like, Oh, we're on episode 6. I wonder what happens in episode 7. Let me just look. Let me just see. Yeah.
Why would you want to spoil that? You want to?
I know. I have a problem.
It? Yeah, but no. But like, you could stop that. What's making you do that? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you go? All right, I'd rather just see it. Wouldn't that wouldn't that emotion take over?
Sometimes I can't wait until 24 hours.
Yeah, but seeing it's way better than reading a review about it.
Meanwhile, I didn't find out what I was having each time I was pregnant. Explain that.
What is wrong with you?
You are a Rubik's Cube.
You really are.
Again, one of Janine's mysteries, right? There you go.
You're a big ball of mysteries.
And
you're an enigma.
For the second child, I worked at my doctor's office, and I could easily go in my file and see what I was having.
That makes zero sense.
And everyone's like, "Wow, you really have such willpower." And I was like, because I wanted to be a surprise.
You wanted that to be a surprise, but you can't wait 90 minutes to find out at the end of the movie.
That's ridiculous. That is such a contradiction.
Yeah, no, I can't.
What's the point of watching the movie then?
I've guessed the plots of too many movies. My wife has banned me from guessing.
You know what, Robin? My husband does the same thing. I'm like, can you shut the fuck up?
I do that too.
Can you shut the fuck up trying to read and find out what happens?
I try to do that too. I try to figure out, there's your murderer right there.
Yeah. This is why I can't, if my father goes, oh, let's watch this movie I saw and it's good, I go, no, I'm not interested. Because you'll be sitting there and he'll be go, watch what this guy does. It's going to be important in the end. And you're like,
look at this right here. It's going to happen. Stop it.
He doesn't see anything wrong with it. I'm like, I want to be cold. He's like, I'm not ruining the plot. I'm like, you are. No,
you're ruining everything.
You are.
Me watching it is better than you going, hey, look at this.
I love the guy though. Listen, speaking of zombies, Fox News. Go ahead, Frank. You got the story on Fox News.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, so Dominion, the people who controlled
the
and
shipping
put out
trucks.
the what's it called? The voting machines.
Oh, not Old Dominion then.
No, not Old Dominion.
Okay, go ahead.
So they're suing Fox News, and there are 5 major takeaways. First one is kind of whatever. They're just the hosts on Fox are calling Giuliani and all these claims stupid. All the voter fraud claims stupid. Tucker Carlson and Hannity talked about getting Fox reporters fired for fact-checking Trump. This is from The Hill, the website The Hill. So the investigation and the lawsuit unearthed these things. So Tucker Carlson and Hannity talked about getting Fox reporters fired for fact-checking Trump. Then let's see what else. There was Fox leadership worried about getting flanked to the right. I don't know what that means. Much credibility. So they're saying they lost credibility. They admitted to, losing credibility with their audience. Rupert Murdoch dismissed Trump's elections claims and, said that the election is over. Joe Biden won, that whole thing. But obviously Trump said otherwise. Fox is prepping their First Amendment defense in court and questions Dominion's motives. So they're saying no matter what they say, it's covered by the First Amendment. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's what they're going to go with the First Amendment. No, but I think the biggest takeaway here is, and we had a little bit of this, but we got a little bit more in this thing, is that they were all fucking texting each other.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was total bullshit, but they were still going on the air and saying it, which again, to me, is the worst crime that you could commit as a host, is not believing in what you're saying.
Yeah, they went on the air and literally just told America, voter fraud. The Dominion things are suspect. The president said it is fraud. You got to look at this. You got to look at that. And they knew full well that none of it was true. But they went on the news anyway and said it. And I don't understand how that's allowed or how they don't lose their jobs over that. You're a news station and you're just going out there and flat out lying. That I feel like job description number 1 should be tell the truth. You have to.
Yeah, but again, we've talked about this before.
As far as you know it to be.
I believe they're all going to tote the line when it comes to those things, and that's fine. Because there's two sides to every
It's not
story.
fine.
So if they're gonna be on the right side and the other guys are gonna be on the left side, I can tolerate that. But I can't.
Being on the right and the left is fine, but flat out lying when you know.
Well,
what
I mean,
you're
it's
saying
not.
is bullshit. That's different.
It's not even that. It's which is not great. I understand, but what bothers me more is they don't believe it. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They don't really believe it. Like, there's two sides to every story, and how you can look at it and interpret what happens. So there could be some gray area. Things could be muddled. But if you don't believe in your side and what you're saying, that's when I have a huge problem with you.
Well, that's where the lying comes in. If they get on the air and say, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud, but they actually believe what they're saying and they can somehow back it up, that's one thing. But if they get on the air and say voter fraud, but off the air they're going, well, everything I just said I know is bullshit. That's the lie. That's where it becomes unethical, and that's when I feel like actions need to be taken. How do you let your host go on the air and just say whatever he wants and pass it off as news? But they'll say,
all
they're an
do that,
entertainment
though.
show.
Yeah, they do all do that.
They all do that. That's why it's not a really
But
good
that doesn't
point.
make it right. They
Well,
all do that. Well, then they all should be held accountable for that. If they're
cable
going on
news.
and lying,
None of it's right.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but if they lie about something tiny,
You don't have to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. But if you lie about voter fraud and the questioning of an election and all this stuff, January 6th, that's huge shit. That's stuff that, like, if you lie about, oh, the president wore a blue suit today and it was gray, nobody gives a shit. Whatever.
As long as it's not a cream suit, it's fine.
Right. But if you're lying about voter fraud and saying you casted a vote and now it can't be trusted, but you know that that's bullshit, I'm sorry, but that's, how do you have a job? Why wouldn't I be able to just go on the news and say literally anything I want? What's stopping anybody from going on and saying anything?
Because let's be honest, within the first 2 or 3 weeks of the election, to be skeptical of what happened, I think is okay.
Yeah, fine.
To investigate it and say, okay, well, one of the campaigns says that some bad thing happened, and give everybody time to look into it and report on all that stuff is fine.
Yeah, that is fine. But if you're reporting that Trump's campaign is saying there's voter fraud, that's fine. But if you're saying to the people at home, you shouldn't believe that your vote was counted, or you shouldn't trust this, or you shouldn't trust that, when you have zero proof of that, then you're full of shit, and you shouldn't be worthy of delivering the news. Sorry, but that's the way it should go.
Agreed. And I think that they really ran out of runway towards the end there. And until here's the other,
if you're reporting that someone's saying it, that's different. If you're saying Trump kept saying this today, or Trump saying that today, that's different. You're just reporting a fact that he said something. But if you get out there and say, well, you got to agree with Trump because I don't trust any of this stuff and it's all bullshit, we've got proof, but we're not going to show you, but we've got the proof, and that's horseshit. Why can't I get out there and say, well, I talked to Trump yesterday and he said this and that, and meanwhile I don't even know Trump. Why can't I just get out there and say anything I want and just the First Amendment says I could lie to you and pass it off as news, so what's the problem? Then what the fuck are we doing? You're not delivering the news anymore.
Well, the thing is they already won that. They already won that case where they had to go out and say it's entertainment. It's for entertainment purposes.
Then you can't put the word news anywhere near the show.
I don't disagree with you there, but that is a larger conversation that needs to happen.
I think it's a pretty small conversation. If you have a show and you're giving your opinion and you say, oh, I'm Sean Hannity and I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that, and you shouldn't either, take the word news off of Fox News. Just said Fox Opinion or Fox's Sean Hannity.
Yeah, but ABC, CBS, they're not news channels, but they have news programs.
Yeah, so does Fox. They do news shows, but if you have Sean Hannity coming on and he's lying, and we know he's lying, and he knows he's lying, and he's just saying shit for entertainment purposes, then take the news part off.
Yeah, everybody lies, though. Yeah, everybody lies.
That doesn't make it right.
No,
then take the news part.
True.
If it's ABC News and you've got Joe Schmo on TV saying I'm the host and this is what you should believe and this is what happened, but it's all bullshit, then it's not the news. That's not the news. By definition, it's not the news.
Yeah, you know what's funny though, but I think people can, well, maybe some a little slower than others, but I think they can delineate that now because when
exactly.
when you have an anchor delivering you headlines and a story versus when you have
but people buy it, man. They
a Don
it.
Lemon or a Tucker Carlson or a Chris Cuomo. They know those are opinion programs,
right?
But yeah, that's fine. But there's a difference when they come out there, and if you watch a CNN or an MSNBC or sometimes a Fox, when they come on and they give you something, they say such and such is running for governor, and they back it up. But here's the document they signed, and here's this, and here's that, and they show you the proof. That's one thing. That's news. Fine. But when the next segment that comes on and they go, well, there were no shootings today. Meanwhile, there were 10, in whatever place. Then you're lying, and you should be held accountable to that.
You know what's crazy? I'm missing that. There's so many mass shootings now. We don't even talk about it anymore.
It's every day.
We just don't even talk.
It's a sick fucking crazy thing. And when I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I read the Michigan thing, forgot about it. Somebody brought it. I was talking about Minnesota, and they were like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about Michigan." I was like, "What happened in Michigan?" They're like, "The shooting," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
Right.
Yeah,
it was like 24 hours after. I already forgot about it.
Yeah, Paul is right. Stop normalizing lying. It's not the news if what you're saying is bullshit.
But I think everybody knows it's news. Okay, look at it from this way.
Not everybody knows it's a news or an opinion because people go out there and say and spread this shit.
I disagree.
And people go, "Well, I saw it on Fox."
People go out there and spread
the
shit.
CNN.
Or on CNN.
People go out there and spread the shit. It's because that's what they want to believe to be true, not because they think it's a real news program.
Boom.
No, that's
boom.
But they're watching it on Fox News.
I think it's the best point I've ever made.
Or on CNN.
People, fine, but they take it as law. They go out and they say, "Well, I heard it on Sean Hannity, and he doesn't lie to me, or he's telling the truth. The only guy I believe."
We can't be responsible for other people's thoughts. That's the whole thing.
When you're news, people are entitled to their own thoughts, absolutely, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
Now, listen, I hear Frank is making a great point. Frank's point would be outstanding if this were 1994, because back then you had Fox and CNN literally doling out news. But we have gone so far from that now, and I feel like everybody knows that these people are just piping their sides talking points.
Yeah, and it's causing people to have the wrong information, like this Dominion thing. They're saying this. You got Hannity.
This is where you and I disagree, because I think if those people weren't getting that disinformation from Fox News, they'd be getting it from Breitbart or Discord or whatever fucking Twitter account that they follow that is just feeding them what they want to hear.
If you're news, you've got to be held to a higher standard. If you're putting out news should be based in fact. And if you're putting out, let's say you have a story that's bullshit, but you have something that backed it up and you have proof. Well, okay, you at the time thought it was true. You put it out there. Then if it turns out to be bullshit, you have to retract it. Now your responsibility as a news person is to go on the air and say, that thing I said yesterday, I have to take it back because it was wrong. We have the proof of that. Here it is. That's when you're doing news.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you about the news part of what you're saying. I think I agree. It's a bigger conversation, and that is it's hard to do, to establish, hey, you have to have X amount of truth on your show to be called a news program. I agree. I would love to live in a world where it's like, you can't be called Fox News. You can't be called what is CNN, cable news. I would love it if they would have to change their
opinions.
name.
You have to go on the air and just tell, and as little what's the word, editorializing as possible. You got to just go out there and say, this is what happened today. Here's what happened.
You just brought up a great word, editorial. You look at any newspaper, there are news stories and there are columns with editorial. Sure. People are going to read, you'll have a news story built with facts and an editorial pointing to how people want to perceive what the news of the day is. and they will read that, and that's what they will carry with them and spread around. That's just the way we are. These Hannity and Cuomo aren't doing anything different than that. They're columnists on TV.
I agree with that. However, when it's on Fox News and it's being passed off, it's under the guise of news. It should be on a different channel, or it should be nowhere near the word news. I'm sorry. You're talking about like the show. It's Sean Hannity on Fox News. It's like, no, it's the Sean Hannity show, and he's just going to give you his opinions, and he should get out there because he's mixing in facts and opinions. Doesn't make it news.
I have a problem with him calling it a show. That's not a show. That's, to me, a show should be.
I don't know what his show's called.
What up, Leisha? Good to have you on board. Derek, Fox News is trust me, bruh, news. I like that a lot. That made me chuckle and holding a laugh when I first read that. I thought that was pretty good.
It's the old Trump, believe me. Believe me.
People are telling, Google it, and you'll see women are not in their prime once they get past 40.
Right.
It's not lying. It's brainwashing. America once laughed at Russia for this bullshit news. Now in the U.S., it is the same. It's true. That's really it's God's honest truth.
See, the news that I believe, and it's not perfect. I hear people give opinions. I'm like, oh wow, but the stuff that I believe is when they say, when you hear it from the horse's mouth, when you hear it, like when you see a press conference and they tell you, like, and you're listening to the president talk, then I believe that the president said that. If someone comes on whatever show and says, well, the president said this today, I didn't hear it. Maybe he did, and that's possible, but it could just as well be bullshit. What if Sean Hannity? So this is saying that Sean Hannity can get up there and say, the president said that he's going to bomb this and such country. He can get away with that.
But the thing is,
that's a flat out lie.
People know not to believe these people.
So anybody could just say anything and get away with it.
Well, that's an important point. I think this is worse for Hannity and all them because they've killed their own credibility with their own audience. I mean, why would anybody trust them?
But they do.
I don't know
because it's what they want to hear.
You don't think this
the number
took
one
a hit?
station?
You don't think they took a hit from this?
Small hit, because all their shows are number one. Everybody's eating it up. They don't care. As long as they're number one, whatever's entertaining.
Shows are number one because the majority of people trust them more than all the other stations.
But there's ample evidence to the contrary that you shouldn't trust them. They literally say that they lied about everything just because it got them ratings. They go out there and they made up the whole election thing, the fraud. They didn't believe it, and they went out there and said it anyway.
All right, let's go from one Fox to the other. Megan Fox supposedly found some DMs and text messages on Machine Gun Kelly's phone that led her to believe that he was having an affair.
Come on, Machine Gun.
Oh, dumbass. Men are so fucking dumb. Go ahead.
It feels like men can't negotiate the messaging process to keep it from their significant other. Like how many times, especially, and here's who I will blame the most for this, is Apple. Because Apple thought it would be nice and convenient to have your text messages go to your phone and your watch and your iPad and your computer. But these are far too many devices for men to keep track of when they're trying to bang somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're blaming the devices rather than the people cheating.
I blame Steve Jobs for the.
Well, hello, wait.
Can't cheat.
You're right, because that's how my ex-boss's wife found out.
Oh.
That his wife, my ex-boss's wife found out that he was talking to her friend on his iPad because he left his iPad home when he went on a business trip.
Yep.
And she just saw the back and forth as it was happening.
No. What he did was originally she looked through his phone to see if there was any messages between him and I. Whoa. And then when she didn't find any,
she wasn't looking in the right spot.
She started scrolling and she saw that her friend was named somebody else in his phone.
Oh.
Wow. That is a scumbaggy move. So he changed the name of the girl?
Yeah, that happens all the time, though.
To hide the messages.
That happens all the time.
See, I can't do. I'd be like, Ralph. Who the fuck is Ralph? I would totally forget.
It was a guy's name.
Yeah, because, and that's weird too. Because then it's like, I want to suck your dick. And I'm like, oh my god, Ralph wants to suck my dick. It's crazy.
Ralph.
What?
My goodness. Good Lord, Ralph. Oh my stars. Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
Can't blame. I don't blame the technology. The technology is doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, it's just funny though because I
catch cheaters. That's exactly what it's supposed to do.
It's true.
Damn right.
But I can't tell you how many stories I've seen where the guy's like, "Oh, I'm going to the gym," or "I have a late meeting," and then their iPad is at home, and it's like, ding, 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 and it keeps going off, and after like the 17th time, the woman is like, "All right, let me see what's going on," and like you're at the gym. How were you fucking getting this many text messages? Like, you know, and the woman's totally justified. By the way, she's totally justified if she wants to be snooping. That is totally okay in my book. But when you're sitting there listening to like 20 text messages go off, any normal human being is going to be like, let me go see if everything is okay. And somebody's not texting, I'm caught I'm in a fucking well somewhere. Please come help me. You know,
and vice versa. Men to women too.
What do you mean? Like a woman could be, yeah, of course, could be cheating.
Exactly. So, I mean, but I will say this. The Apple, when you delete the messages now, and now you can recover them, I wonder if he did that. I wonder if he deleted the messages from the girl and she went on there and went in the deleted messages.
I mean, if you're in the deleted, here's the thing. Here's what I will say. If you are looking at your significant other's deleted messages, there's an issue in your relationship.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you've gotten to that point where you got to go into those deleted messages, then you really, there's more than meets the eye with the issues.
There's a trust issue.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not good.
But that's what I wonder. I wonder if he was smart enough to delete the messages, because then can you really blame him that much
for cheating on her?
No. I mean, for deleting the messages, keeping the messages versus not keeping the messages. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, I've never carried on a clandestine relationship, but I would imagine.
Okay. In 2023, but go ahead.
I would imagine you would default to deleting the messages. Like, would you keep those? Like, okay, let me tell you something I do delete. On occasion, when my wife is on occasion feeling pretty saucy, and on occasion
some pictures. Yep.
I don't know if I want to hear this.
A nudie nudes.
All right.
Of course, I'll take a look, and then I delete it right away because I'm concerned with. Because one time she sent me a nude, and somebody in my family was like on my phone, and I was like, "Oh my god!" If they hit this text, like I showed them another text, and they were like, "Oh, let me see the other," and they could have gotten it. It was close. It was
that's how I saw it. That's how I saw a family member of my husband's penis, because not through a text message, but because they kept it in an actual camera. Now, here we go. Why would you keep that?
Yeah, you don't need to keep that. That's not a keeper.
And they showed me. I didn't take the camera. They said, "Here's pictures from an event we were all at. Here you go. You can look through it." I've talked about this on here. Okay, back. Whoop. That was his cock. That was his cock in his hand.
All right, Derek wants to know whose penis. Oh, wait, cock in the hand? No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's worth two in the bush.
I don't care. I'll say it because they'll never say it. My husband's sister's husband.
That's rough.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Yeah. And it was like
terrible.
Of course, I'm the one who had to see the cock. You know.
Wait, it was a camera?
Yep, it was a
regular
real camera.
digital camera.
Yeah, like back in our days.
Yeah, what fucking year was this? Were you putting coal in the lights? Or?
It was a digital camera, and it was like I want to say maybe 2005.
God, we're gonna have to explain that to our children one day. You don't understand, kids. We used to go out. We used to be like, "Should we bring the camera tonight?"
Right.
Yeah, there was a brief moment in time where we had digital cameras. Before
Oh,
that, it was film.
I was a huge camera person.
Yeah, but that digital camera phase was like 15 years.
Like this big.
Before, yeah.
I don't even think it was
Before
15
that-
years.
Don't ever do
Maybe
that.
less. Before that,
Derek.
it was film, and now it's everybody's got a camera in their pocket on the phone.
Derek, the old dick slip from the bro-in-law.
That old yarn.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? The wife said,
What'd you think?
what'd you think about the cock in the hand
So?
versus just the cock on, just the cock?
Pretty nice, huh?
She was
Did you
like,
pack him?
she said something. I went back. She goes, oh, how'd you know when to stop? And I was like, no, I don't know. I just knew when to stop.
When I saw the penis. Here you go.
When I saw your fiance's cock in his hand, that's how I knew when to stop.
Oh, they weren't even married yet.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah. So then it was so fun. Wait, the funniest thing was I couldn't tell roommate right then and there. So we get in the car and I go, I have to tell you something. And he's like, what? And I was like, I start hysterical laughing. Like I couldn't stop. And I was like, and he was like, what? I was like, I saw Blake's penis. And he was like, what? How? What? And I was like, on the camera. And he was like, I saw your face go a little. You were like this. No.
Saw a little drool come out of you, out of your mouth.
And I just fucking die. And now every time I see this guy, which isn't often, I just think of his penis. What could I do?
Does he know?
He has no clue.
He doesn't know.
No.
Does your sister-in-law know?
No, she doesn't know either.
So just you, your roommate, and now the rest of the world.
Yeah, see, they're hoping. They didn't ask. They talked about it that night and were like, do you think she saw it? Nah, I don't think she did. They were total denial about it.
You think so?
Now, what are the
To
chances?
make themselves feel better. Yeah, 100%.
Why would she
They're like,
keep...
Janine definitely would have said something, right? She would have made
Yes.
a cock joke.
Frank, is that not the truth? Like, her reaction to this is very un-Janine.
Yeah.
Not to be like, oh, whose dick is this? And like to show
that's
everybody.
true. Penis, got a penis on this camera.
Whose cock? You, 500. No, it's twice.
She would have went up to his groin and held the picture in front of it. Like, oh, look, yeah, that's about right. That matches.
I would have. I don't know what came over me then. I was just like,
Well, it's a shocking thing.
I think it was. I honestly think I was just in shock
Yeah.
because I was like,
That's
and
the,
then
the
I was
old
like, oh
cock
my
shock.
god, cock shock. Did anyone else see this? I'm gonna tell you, that was probably one of the best laughs I ever had in my life on that drive home. Because even the roommates start to hysterical laughing. Driving. I do have a question for you guys though, and I thought about this the other day. If one of the people in our group, if you found out that they had an OnlyFans and you could see their pictures
Nope.
for free.
Wow.
Nope.
Great question.
I mean, like, not even on OnlyFans, any website. Would you
Nope.
look at it?
Would we do it? Okay. Can I say this? It is my first instinctual answer. All of us. Okay. I'm assuming you're meaning if a woman in the group had an OnlyFans. Is that
Or
what
a
you're saying?
guy. Or a guy.
Okay. Because my head went to a woman first because I was going to say my wife, I feel, would beat me to the punch.
If it was a woman?
Yeah, because I think a woman, and not in a sexually attractive way, but I don't think a woman could let that lie. And by women, I mean my wife could definitely not like leave that alone. She would stalk that situation out immediately.
Check it out. Just to see.
And then and probably say like what a whore, or I always knew this bitch was a whore, something to that effect.
Look at this slut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks. I feel like you're talking about me right now, but okay.
Yeah.
No, you said anybody in the
But,
thing,
I mean,
in our
like,
group.
if there was...
I'm not saying that everybody on OnlyFans is a slut, because I'm considering going on OnlyFans
For your feet.
with my feet. Do people? I'm sure there's a big market for just feet stuff, right? On OnlyFans.
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, what? I don't know.
I mean, what's the harm?
How
in
you
that?
think I
Why
just
not
did
do
my
it?
bathroom over? What?
I tell you, I just got hit with a bill today. Holy crap! Today, I had a free my oil company comes over. They do a free chimney inspection for the furnace. Okay, they do it like once a year or however often they do it. So he comes in, looks at the chimney. I hear he's banging around in there, and he comes out and he goes, "You see all this?" I go, "What the hell is that?" It was the inside of your chimney. It's all tile that goes up to. Right now, everybody who does chimney work, it's all metal. The inside of the chimney. Because yours is old, it's tile, it's fine, but it's a little bit, it's cracking. And eventually, everything's gonna cave in, crack and everything. So it's not good. So he goes, all right, what do we do? He's like, we gotta line the whole inside with metal.
We did that too a few years ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So this free inspection is gonna cost me what now? He's like, $1,900.
Fuck that. Let it collapse. Like, you should have asked how much is it going to cost me to build a new one once it collapses.
Right.
Yeah.
It's $1,200.
Do I need a chimney?
No, you don't need a chimney.
Yeah. So fixed. It's all fixed. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That was a shock today.
All right, but Janine asked a great
the
question.
Price of membership just went up in the chat in the join in the membership page.
It's actually now $1,900.
It's 19 within the next 5 minutes. Join now, and for the low price.
Put in a couple extra ads on this episode, Frankie. Get that chimney paid for.
Okay.
That's
can I before you say what you're going to say? Can we just? I want an answer from everybody in the live chat, and if you're not in the live chat, in the comments, because this is a phenomenal question. Go ahead, Janine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Being that I saw that cock by surprise, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Now I saw his cock. I probably would do it again. One of the guys in the group. If one of the guys in our group had a dick pic out there, I'd be interested in it.
You'd go looking.
I would. If one of the girls said, "Listen, I found someone's in our group's penis. Do you want to see it?" I'd be like, "Okay."
I mean, we've all seen your brothers, so
right.
If it's your brother, I'm not subscribing. If it's your brother,
besides my brothers, okay, because like everyone has seen his penis.
Yeah. He gave it away for free too much to have an OnlyFans.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. No offense to any of you guys, but I feel like I'm gonna go the corny sappy route. But I feel like our friendship, I wouldn't be able to look at you the same way.
It's so easy to hate you. It really is.
It really is. I mean, really.
You'd be able to look at me the same way if you saw me on OnlyFans doing whatever I was doing.
Let me say this: if it was a dude in our group, I would have zero interest. I could care less what any penis looks like. I've said this before. I was always surprised by Janine's reaction. Janine thinks that men go in the men's room and just fucking peek over as everybody's taking a piss. It is not. No,
we all face each other, and there's one drain in the middle of the room, and we all just looking at each other. Like,
I am like a horse at the Belmont Stakes. I got blinders on. I'm fucking looking forward at the tile wall. Yep. I do not want to look. I could care less. If it was a female in the group, I would love to say no, and I probably would not look for a really long time, but. I couldn't say that curiosity wouldn't get the better of.
But you know what they say? Curiosity killed the cat.
Let me throw this in there. What if it's both? Because a lot of OnlyFans are couples who bang. Curiosity would also get to me there.
I don't want to see that. No offense.
I don't want to see it.
To the guys in our
curiosity
group.
is.
To the guys in our group.
All the women in our group are very lovely, very pretty. But the guys in our group, I don't want to see your flapping ass.
Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you're perusing your pornography there, right? You're on your whatever the fuck Frank likes to look at on porn.
Democratic porn.
Oh yeah.
All Hillary dress ups.
Hillary, AOC. Good stuff.
I'm with her and I'm banging.com. All right,
right.
Listen, that was horrible.
Sure.
You're on there and boom, thumbnail comes up and it's somebody in the group. You wouldn't click on it and watch it? You're right there. You don't have to pay. It's just a simple click.
You have to.
In that moment, I don't know if I wouldn't look.
You have to.
And I'll tell you what I would really do.
There's no going back.
I'd get my wife and I would be like, are we going to do this?
Hey, honey, something you might want to see here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Should we look? Good no.
Let me say this. I would hate myself for it. And I think I would regret it forever.
That's what I'm saying. You can't unring that bell. Once you see it.
I just don't know if I could ignore it. Like Janine said, curiosity that's a lot.
I don't know, man.
That's why I kept scrolling back for more pics on the camera. I was like, is there more? I'm just kidding.
Well, once you see it, though, that's it. Now it's burned in your brain. And for the rest of your life, you've got your friend's image of whatever they're doing in your head. And do you bring it up with them? Do you say, hey, guys, speak to you for a second? Take them in the corner and go, hey, I don't want to say anything, but
I think
good job.
If in our group somebody had an OnlyFans, that's not something that could be contained.
It would be what?
I think everybody would know. If one person discovered it, I think everybody would know.
Well, who's discovering it? Question is, okay. Do you think any of our friends in our group subscribe to OnlyFans?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think any of us do.
Really?
I don't think so. No.
Do you think any of our friends subscribe to porn sites?
I wouldn't say subscribe. Maybe you disgusting men look at porn.
You don't look at porn.
I never.
For the life of me, I mean, until OnlyFans, I never understood anybody who paid for a porn site. I didn't get it. Never understood that.
Right. I don't think any of our friends. You think any of them for
if I had to guess one person in our group,
yeah,
it's the one person I think we're all thinking of.
Who's that? Me?
No, not you.
But my brother.
Same family though.
No, not who I was thinking.
I was thinking her brother. What were you thinking?
Keep eliminating. I mean, who else am I thinking of?
I mean, listen,
another big guy.
There's like 7 or 8 guys in our group. Somebody's fucking paying for a porn site in there. I'm sorry. Somebody's paying for OnlyFans.
Maybe. That's a possibility. I think if it's anyone, there's one person that I'm thinking of, and they're not related to any of the three of us.
I'm surprised that we're not paying for OnlyFans. Because I would have thought there would have been somebody in there that we would have just been like, we have to see this. You know what I mean? Like,
what you mean, like for the show's sake?
Yeah. For like, we got. I think we came close with.
You came close with what's her name, Carmen Electra.
That's right. It was Carmen Electra.
That was all you, buddy.
Yeah.
What happened?
You were very excited about that. She joined.
She joined
OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know who else came? Who else? I guess joined OnlyFans. I don't know what's on there, but Iggy Azalea.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Iggy Azalea?
I'm so fancy.
First, I'm the realest.
Like the rapper. Okay.
Bayless.
Yeah.
She a long time ago, a couple years ago, or whatever OnlyFans came out, she was like, "I will never join OnlyFans, never, ever, ever." But anybody who does, great, good for them. This is paraphrasing what she said. And now apparently she has joined it. I do not know what content is on there. Just saying, there's another celebrity who's out there on OnlyFans. I can't think of any others.
Just a big ass for a white girl.
For a white,
she does.
I don't know if it's real.
Do you realistically think that we are not going to join OnlyFans at some point to see something?
Show, you mean?
Yeah, I don't foresee there's somebody out there that is going to join that we are going to be like, we've got to see this.
Well, who would that be?
I just got one that came right to my mind.
Who?
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis joins OnlyFans.
First of all, she's never doing that.
I'm probably going to be there on day one to find out if the rumors are true. See what we're dealing with.
Well, it's number one. She's never doing that. Mm-hmm. She's been in some movies where she has shown her upper half, her top.
That's true.
That's it.
Well, that's the problem with like Tommy Lee and all these people. It's like and Carmen Electra even too. She posed nude. It's like, all right, we've seen all that shit already. Who gives a shit? Like, what are you going to show us that's new?
Well, that's the thing. It's video on OnlyFans. It's not just like a centerfold or something or other.
I actually think the appeal of OnlyFans is not the celebrity. It's more like the average person next door.
Right.
You know? I think that's the appealing part of OnlyFans. I think that's why they've been so successful so far.
Yeah. And I think part of it is also there's like a what's it called? An interaction part component.
She doesn't have a wiener. Go ahead.
What? No, the interaction part. I think
that's a big part of it.
You know, the person in the video talks to and interacts with their fans.
But we've talked about this.
Husband spent all that money on.
Your friend's husband, right? That's right.
Spending
that's right. Yeah, that's why we talked about that.
$150 on a message, just messages from women.
But we talked about this when we talked about that. Is that there's just dudes now writing that shit? So it's like that's that
takes.
Hello, look at that. Look at that. Like I said before, that football player who that was a fucking crazy story. That was a good Netflix documentary. Plugging that. Free plug.
Yeah, the guy who got catfished.
Yeah.
Right.
The Hawaiian football player.
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tua.
Very good. Would have never said that correctly.
Who did he think he was talking to?
He thought he was talking to some. I guess she was Hawaiian too. Sent pictures. Not first of all, not even a fucking woman. It was a man.
Hey, whatever you're into.
A man. I think it was like a man trying to be a woman, not a transgender though. If that makes sense.
That's what I was gonna say. Frank said whatever you're into. He's not into that. He was into a woman.
Right.
Yeah, but he got pictures and he was okay with it, right?
No, it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't him.
He was putting pictures of a girl, some girl.
I thought the pictures were the real.
He took some girl's pictures from Facebook and used all her pictures.
Hold on, Derek says Manti Te'o, not Tua Tagovailoa.
No, that's right. He's right.
I'm gonna go with Derek.
All right, Derek. Thanks for setting us straight.
That was close. Those are two weirdo fucking names, though. Let's be honest with each other. That's an easy one to confuse. Go ahead.
Man, what's with you
it's
tonight?
just like if you're like
I don't feel good.
Right. Okay. You're a famous football player, and you got fucking catfish, bro, by a fucking dude. That's you know, towards the end, this person was really fucked up because the person like made him believe she died. If that makes sense. Yep.
I guess how did this come out that it was all fake?
So what she did was, well, he realized what he was doing was messed up. So he was like, I got to end this. But he didn't want to just be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So he pretended that the girl that he was talking to was in a car accident and died.
I feel like this was an episode of like The Simpsons or something.
No, really. And then probably because they predict everything. And then I don't know if his...
Yeah, Mrs. Krabappel thought she was dating... like in the first or second season, she thought she was dating some I forget. I think it was Gil Hodges. Bart sends a letter, dear Mrs. whatever, dear Edna, and a love letter because she was down in the dumps and he was trying to mess with her. But then she took it seriously and he felt bad, and then he had to say that he moved away and all this stuff. It was I guess a catfishing thing.
Well, then the guy pretended that like the girl had a sister, and the football player was talking to the sister, like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. It was really fucked up. And then I guess the person, he was like, I just want to let you know I made that all up.
Yeah.
What?
Man.
And it was a long time, too. It was like at least a year and a half.
I'd like to know how it got out into the public.
He just talked about it. He said, I think he said it publicly, like, oh, my girlfriend died and it's been a tough year.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because I don't know if he won a game and then his girlfriend's grandmother passed away, or his girlfriend died. Something like that.
Wow.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And then it was like,
then they were like, "Who's your girlfriend?" And then it was, well,
actually, no, right?
Thing about that is,
oh wait, that is actually how it happened because he said, "This is my girlfriend," and the reporter found out that that girl was alive.
It was
and they thought he was lying at first.
Right.
Oh man, then he had to come clean with the whole.
Yep. Well,
I
don't think he even knew yet. I don't think he even knew yet.
Yeah, no, he found out publicly with like everybody.
Good
Lord. God,
and
they interviewed his parents. Oh God.
We're very proud of our son for being catfished.
They were really embarrassed. They were. I just don't. I don't get it.
If you're on the news for your football player's son, it's probably the last story you'd expect to be a part of. You'd be like, "Oh, my son won the Super Bowl. This is great." No, your son was catfished, and his year-long relationship was a lie. Oh, great.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, either way, yes, I would look at any member.
I don't think I would.
Any member of our group's member.
I wouldn't look. I would be like, I saw your OnlyFans, and I don't want to pay for it. Can you just text me the pictures?
Right. How about a friend's discount?
Family friends.
But all right, let me say this too. Can I say this honestly? I am surprised that the girls in our group don't have an OnlyFans. Like, it is awfully tempting, is it not?
Yeah, but you have to be that kind of
I'm
personality.
Surprised. We don't either.
No, because I'll tell you what. I saw this girl came across my TikTok feed, and she was a fucking train wreck in every sense of the word. Like, not a pretty face, not a great body. And she's like, "Here, look what I made on OnlyFans this month." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, if I'm a female, I'm looking at that going, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." Because you don't have to show your face. You don't have to really show who you are.
Like I said, I could just show my feet. That's nothing. I'll show my feet.
Right.
I don't know how you don't.
Why am I not showing my feet for money?
I'm more interested in talking to men and putting them down for money.
There's a huge market for that, I'm sure.
Just because you're successful with your roommate in doing that doesn't mean that that's
really, Frank, I'm not kidding you. When that girl I used to work with, remember the dominatrix during lunch?
Right. Again, bring her on the show. Why aren't we talking to her?
I mean,
yeah, you could
feel like
there's a huge market for that. People are into that, and they
is,
pay big time for it.
Right. All I have to do is tell him he's worthless and a piece of shit. And I was like, how come I'm not getting
She didn't have to touch him? Shit, I'll do that. Give me the number. I'll tell someone they're a worthless piece. I tell you guys all the time.
Right, exactly.
No one's paying me to do that.
So it's like, come on. I don't know. It is very tempting. It is. I won't lie. I won't lie.
There's a line. You have to be the type of person that has the ability to go over that line. If you're not, then you're not going to be on OnlyFans. But there are people that can, and people that are not shy about it and will do it.
Yeah, but we talked about this, like when we talked about Tommy Lee. I don't think that line is becoming faded every single day. I don't think there's
everybody's line. Everybody's line is different. Everybody has a certain barrier that they won't cross.
No, but I think society has a line too, and I just don't think it matters as much as it used to anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, not when you have big time celebrities just going on this, and there's no shame whatsoever.
But the thing is, like, you have family and friends that you probably would not want to see your OnlyFans page. I think that's a major line for us. We wouldn't want to cross that line. You show up at Thanksgiving and someone goes, so it's like, what? It would be a super weird thing for us. There are people who are okay with that, and that's the line that they cross, or they either don't care that their family sees it, or they don't have a lot of people in their lives that would, Again, it's a personal line that everybody has.
I understand that, but also put this. Here's what I'm saying. Like, if you were a teacher and they found photos of you on the internet, you're probably fired 10 years ago. No, probably not.
No, recently there was I feel like there was a teacher. I feel like I heard that story that there was a teacher who They found out she did something like that. Yeah. And
what's crazy is most of those people are quitting because they're like, why am I working that stupid fucking job? I'm making a ton of money.
I'm making 20 grand a month doing this. What the hell am I doing?
I saw a girl. She was pretty, not like stunning. She said that at one point she made $215,000 in 4 days on OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm like, what? Now she was saying part of the conversation was she was saying how much it fluctuates. She's like, there are times when there is a bit of a lull and there's not a lot of money coming in. She's like, but the craziest it ever got at my height, she goes, it was 4. I wish I knew who it was. It was 4 days, and I made $215,000 in 4 days. That's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
But then the other thing too is, isn't that terrifying? Like you can't sustain that. You don't to be like, oh, I don't know where my next. That's what's amazing about this.
That's another risk.
I said this too with Tommy Lee. Okay, after we watch Tommy Lee jerk off, now what? Like what?
How many times are you gonna watch him jerk off?
Who's coming back for that time and time again?
Back, or he puts something else on.
Coming back for that.
I don't know. There's other things I'm sure that they can do. People do. I'm sure people have a catalog of videos that they do. You know, who the hell knows? And you know, they do all kinds of different shit.
That's exhausting.
People are into.
Well, it's a business.
People weird shit.
Just like this, we do a few times a week. People do that a few times.
It's unbelievable. Like there's no physical aspect to this.
Yeah, I definitely should do OnlyFans a few times a week over this. Definitely.
I mean, it's a stretch getting me to walk down my stairs.
Really is.
No, I mean honestly, it's the God's honest truth. Any female, I don't like. That is such a big temptation. I mean, I'm surprised
too, man. Again, my feet might be on OnlyFans coming soon.
When you look at I don't even know, the 6 or 7 girls in our, like you would think like 1 in 10 girls are on OnlyFans at this point.
Who do you think would be in our group
first to go?
Most likely to be on OnlyFans.
Wait, say that again.
Most likely to be on OnlyFans.
Most likely.
In our friends.
So not necessarily first, but most likely to wind up on OnlyFans.
Girls. You're looking at me. I feel fucking judged right now.
Looking at you because you asked the question and there's only 2 people to look at.
It's okay. I'll be honest. I am probably the most likely to be on it.
Again, I don't think any of us are going to cross that line.
I don't know, Frank.
I don't see it happening.
That's a really good question. I don't know.
I don't see it happening. I would say in the next 10 years, if I had to put money on it, nobody in the group is doing that.
I think there's a lot of things in the group that people don't think.
Yeah, that
people would do.
That keeps me up at night. Thinking like, what is everybody doing that I don't fucking know about?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of time now where we don't see each other for weeks on it or hear from people. We don't hear from some friends now for like 6 weeks. I don't know what's going on.
Right. What are you doing?
People keep moving farther and farther away.
Right.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Do you ever get all right, Frank? Do you ever get tempted to be like, "Hey, Aaron, why don't you show them titties on OnlyFans so we can go get that chimney done?" Do you ever get tempted to say that?
How about you pay for this chimney with them titties?
No, I do not.
I say that to my wife on a daily basis. I go, listen, we got to turn some things up here. We got shit to do.
We got to stop making things interesting here.
Yeah, I'm putting a camera. I'm putting a whole fucking lighting rig in here.
You know the parents that the room my parents stay in when they're over. We're turning that into the OnlyFans room.
Guess what?
We're gonna get naked in that room, and that's what's happening.
Let me ask you a question, fam. If you found out that there's a huge market for old people porn, like watching old people have sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you set up a hidden camera in your parents' room?
Such a crazy question.
Yes, immediately.
Of course he would.
I already have one. I just have to release the stuff.
Yeah, but VHS, you can't. You got to convert that.
Yeah,
I 1,000% would set it up in my parents' room, the room they sleep over in.
I would send it to America's Funniest Videos.
Wasn't there a show on like Showtime or something with the porn guy, and his whole family was like in on it? It was like the family business. Or remember, this was like in maybe early 2000s. It was a
And
porn.
you're watching HBO After Dark. You sick fuck.
Who didn't watch HBO After Dark? But the point is, it wasn't on HBO. It was on like Showtime or Cinemax or one of them. It was like one of these. It was in the wake of the Osbournes, where like everybody was getting a reality show for whatever.
I don't remember.
And this guy did porn, but like his mom like ran the warehouse with all the VH. This was in the VHS tape or the DVD days, maybe. She like had all they would ship them out, and the website order, like the whole, like his uncle did something, like everybody in the family had like a job in this porn. Somebody's got to know the name of that.
Lord.
The guy had like brown hair and brown long hair. I remember.
Was it David Duchovny?
No.
David Duchovny.
That was
it a
Californication.
show? Was it a scripted show or was it a reality show?
It was a reality show.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a reality show, and that was kind of like the appeal of this reality show. Like, oh, you see a girl's see a chick's nipple every now.
Red Shoe Diaries.
No, that wasn't it.
Sex in the City.
That wasn't Sex in the City. Somebody has to. I think it ran for like 3 or 4 years. I always remember seeing like commercials and stuff for it.
I just want to say something before I go.
Yeah.
I might do something different next Friday. If I decide to join.
OnlyFans?
I'll be in Minnesota next Friday.
I'm going to be in New York City next Friday.
I'm going to be on Long Island next Friday.
So I might pop in from there, depending on if I don't make a lot of money from OnlyFans that night.
That would be exciting. Do we know why you're in Minnesota? Can we ask? Or no?
Sure, you can ask. It's for an OnlyFans convention.
No, it's not. Is it for Star Legacy?
It is for Star Legacy. Okay. It's a chapter retreat.
Are you going to visit the biggest ball of twine?
What
there's the biggest ball of twine is in Minnesota.
No, I'm hoping I can maybe go to Mall of America, which is only 15 minutes away.
Oh, you got to go to Prince. You got to go to Paisley Park to see Prince's house. That's the fucking spot in Minnesota.
Oh, how far is that from where I'm staying?
I don't know. Where are you in Minneapolis, or where are you staying?
Eden Prairie.
Well, that sounds like
that sounds like don't make a wrong turn.
You better know where you're going in Eden Prairie.
I already scoped out what's the closest coffee place.
Oh.
Yeah. Biggest ball of twine. You got to go see it.
No, I can't. Honestly.
The only reason I know about it is Weird Al made a whole song about it.
Oh my God. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Why don't you vlog it? Why don't you vlog it? We'll put it in the members only area. Here's what we're doing.
Video action.
Video.
It'll also be the first time that I'm flying completely by myself.
Are you serious?
Ooh, yeah, for real.
No pilots? That's crazy.
So stupid.
I'm not even a dad.
You've never not flown with your roommate?
I've flown with my boss and myself, but not.
So you're by yourself on the plane. Nobody
completely by myself. No one's gonna bother me. No one's gonna talk to me. Maybe a tall, handsome stranger will sit next to me. I don't know. We'll see.
How'd you score? It's gonna be an old lady who fucking brought a tuna sandwich.
Who just farts the whole time.
Yeah. Yep. How did you score this little mini vacation?
It's because I'm a co-chair. So they said, yeah, because they were like, do you want to come? And I was like, absolutely.
See, I got to get on one of these charity boards, Frank, so I can tell my wife, I gotta go away. This is a chapter retreat. What did you call it? Is that what it was? A chapter retreat?
You're right. So we'll see how it goes.
Retreat from my responsibilities. That's what the fuck you're retreating from.
How long
exactly? It's retreating from the fucking psychopath that I live with, devil child. Because there's not many flights to Minnesota from New York.
So you have to stay an extra 5 days?
I wish. Oh my God, I wish I should have said that. Fuck. I leave here Friday afternoon and then I come back early Sunday morning.
Oh, that's a waste.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad. How long of a flight is that? More than 4 hours? 3 hours?
I think 2.5 or 3 hours.
That's my guess.
Yeah, California's 5, right? So
yeah. No, it's 6, isn't it? Is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's 6 hours. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really want to go to Mall of America, though.
Visit that ball of twine. I need a picture of you by the ball of twine.
We have to stop with the ball of twine. That's not a lot of it. Wait, do you have to? Is it like you have to go on like programs or talks, or is it like
Saturday is the whole day conference? You know, we're just gonna talk basically.
Oh, so you have like no time.
Right. I have no. All right. I only have.
That's bull. You got just Saturday.
Friday.
Right.
You get Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah, but Friday you're settling into the wherever you have to be. That's a travel day. You can't really count that.
Right. It's not much.
You got to throw in an extra few days in there.
I'm hoping that there's a snowstorm and I get stuck there. Oops.
There you go.
That happened to us in Toronto. We scored an extra day out of that Toronto trip.
Oh yeah, great. I called my job at the time, and I was like, "Hey, guess what?
Snowed in.
I'm snowed in another country. See ya in 2 days."
I did that in when I went to Orlando once. There was, of course, only a hurricane that really hit it years ago. I want to say 20 years ago. We got stuck there for an extra 3 days.
Nice. What a score.
I know. I was like, oh, sorry.
Hurricane.
Sorry.
Now, were you close to where's the Mall of America? That's in Minneapolis, right?
I think so, yeah.
Is that the mall that they roller skate through in Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, there's a roller coaster in there. It's like cute.
Nice.
It's the biggest mall in America.
You got to wear roller skates, though.
You should roller skate through like the Mighty. Why don't you go on the Mighty Ducks tour? You see all the spots the Mighty Ducks were at. The diner.
Oh yeah.
Where Fuller hit that slap shot that broke the window.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah. Don't pick up any purses with dollar bills hanging out of them.
No, I know. Definitely not.
Goldberg. We need a Mighty Ducks where they're all in the NHL.
Yeah.
That'd be the next movie.
No, I want a Mighty Ducks now where they're all like 40 and like fucking depressed and angry at the world. Goldberg's a recovering drug addict.
That's real though.
I know.
A little too on the nose.
It'll be great for you. It'll be easy for him to play.
I would love a Mighty Ducks movie. They're in the NHL. And
no, I want it to be
the original guy. Well,
I want Goldberg and Charlie Conway to be sitting around at a table, and Goldberg's telling the story about how he had to suck dick for crack, and they all go Goldberg,
Goldberg. Man, it's fucked up. I don't think that's making it to Disney Plus though. They might not be cool with that.
Might have to put that one on Hulu. They might have to go on Hulu.
I don't think Disney's signing off on that one.
No, but there is a new one. There is a new Mighty Ducks where
there's a show. It's a
they pass it along to some other stupid show.
I'm not interested in that.
Who fucking cares?
No.
The Mighty Drunks.
There it is.
It's pretty funny.
The winner.
Charlie Conway is at the old factory again. I used to be captain of the team. I'm telling you. They named an NHL team after us. Whatever, guy.
Sure, they did.
Go.
Get in the cell.
Break's over.
Put your hands behind your back.
Did you see the youth games back in 2002? Whatever, guy. Get in the back of the car.
We have a banner. Remember?
We have a banner. That wasn't even the Olympics, wasn't it? Wasn't it like the youth?
The first thing, it was just the whatever hockey league they were in.
Right, that was the first one. But in the second one
was the Olympics.
I don't think it was the Olympics. I think it was like the youth games or some bullshit.
Hang on, in the Mighty Ducks 2, was it the Olympics or was it like some youth Olympic?
Yeah, right?
It was the Olympics, right?
I thought it was but not like the kid Olympics.
There's a kid Olympics?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was supposed to like kind of be the Olympics, but it wasn't the real Olympics.
So it wasn't the real Olympics, but it was something.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks 2.
Junior Olympics, says Derek. Could be.
No, it wasn't even I'm telling you, it was like the maybe the Goodwill games.
That sounds right.
Well, that's a real thing, though. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. We can't let the show end like this.
You know what else I find very, very weird?
It was the Junior Goodwill games. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. You know what else I find very weird? Off topic, but kind of parallel. Any baseball movie you see, it always ends with them winning the pennant.
And not the World Series?
Not the World Series.
Let's think about this.
Think about all your baseball movies.
Well, Major League, they
win the pennant.
They win the pennant, go to the series.
We never see the series.
You don't see the series, yeah.
Why would they do that?
In fact, they lose the series, right? Because in Major League 2, that's how they come back. They say that they lost in the series.
I don't know. I remember that.
Yeah.
I thought they won, but I don't know.
What was the one where the kid starts throwing really fast? I don't know what happens there.
I don't remember, but I feel like, Major League, pennant only.
There is an element of major disappointment in most baseball movies, actually, now that I think about it. Like, right? You're right. You never get to the World Series, or...
I guess the only one would be A League of Their Own, because there were only like 4 or 5 teams there anyway.
Right, but they lose. I mean, I know Kid wins, but they lose.
They lose. But again, yeah, they only win the pennant. So, but whenever I watch a baseball movie, Rookie of the Year, also pennant only.
That's the one with Rowan Gartner?
I think so.
What about, remember the one where he becomes the manager because his grandpa owns the team and he leaves it to him? They lose. Remember, they lose to Ken Griffey Jr. and the Seattle Mariners at the end of that one. I don't think that's even that might have been, they lost the pennant, I think. They didn't even win the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's all about the pennant for some reason. Who cares about the series?
Yeah.
For the love of the game, pennant only.
What was the one where he's the high school coach and then he realizes he could still throw 90 with Dennis Quaid?
I have no idea.
I forget how that ends.
Bull Durham? That was
yeah.
I don't know,
that was minor league.
Kevin Costner and someone else. Little Big League. Lost the pennant.
Little Big League. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. I love Little Big League.
It's a good one. We went way off the OnlyFans topic, though.
Yeah, we did.
We should probably take that down.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if anybody noticed, but the show ended 45 minutes ago. We've just been bullshitting.
This is what we do when we're not on the show. We just bullshit about this.
We abandoned all the topics that didn't really make a difference.
It's fine. I think
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Fuck her.
8 men out, World Series. Okay. It's bound to be one.
That was the one where they fixed the World Series, though, wasn't it?
Oh, is that based on
the Black Sox scandal?
Yeah. So all right. So that was based on a true story, though. I'm talking fictional baseball.
What's the one where the lightning bat, the natural? He doesn't. Does he win in the end? I don't remember.
I feel like they win, but is it the pennant?
Let me tell you something. I fucking love a good baseball movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Who's turning off a baseball movie? I'm very romantic about baseball, especially old baseball.
Yeah.
I'll fucking watch it. It's hard to turn that shit off.
It's the truth. No, baseball movies, it's like you get so nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking game, but you're like so into it.
I love hockey. That's my sport, but like a great hockey movie is very rare. A baseball movie, even the shitty ones are great.
Yeah, hockey movies are hit or miss. You know, I know it's a classic. It's also a cult classic, but upon rewatching Slapshot, it's not as good as I remembered. It's very slow.
Well, because everybody watched Slapshot on the bus in their little hockey tournaments going somewhere. What was the one with Rob Lowe? That was the other one. The hockey movie with Youngblood. Remember Youngblood?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, Slapshot is extraordinarily slow.
It's very slow, that movie. There's some great scenes when they're playing hockey, but outside of the hockey scenes, it's like, holy shit.
Cobb is great with Tommy Lee Jones, I believe.
Tommy Lee Jones
plays Cobb. Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, Field of Dreams didn't take place inside the world of any league or anything. It was just
right.
It was just the game at the end with the
Babe is great too with John Goodman. The Babe, was that even I think that was an HBO movie. I don't even know if that was a real movie. Was it?
HBO. What are you saying? HBO is our real movie?
No, they're good, but 61 was an HBO movie. That was great.
Goon was really good. The hockey movie with what's that guy's name?
From
Stifler.
American Pie. Yeah, I never saw it.
That was actually we watched it thinking this isn't going to be good. It was very good.
It was good.
Yeah, one of the better hockey movies I've seen.
Yeah, there's a
They're on
hockey
a lot.
TV show that Hulu keeps trying to get me to watch. I'm like, I don't want no part of this. It looks terrible. Those things are fucking terrible.
What's the other one? Mystery Alaska I thought was good, and also
Mystery Alaska was good.
what the Miracle was great.
Oh, Miracle was great. Yeah, Mystery Alaska I love though because Mystery Alaska had those elements of a baseball movie in it, that just romantic. Like, can this shitty, club team beat the
play
New
the
York
Rangers?
Yeah,
yeah. Well, maybe not today, but a few years ago.
yeah, it's true. The Rangers are
Anybody
fucking stacked right now.
Yeah, no, today they're doing good.
I looked at that lineup that they got. It's fucking insanely ridiculous. I mean, I can't even stand how good that team is.
Zibanejad is the whole fucking team. He's the best. He's their VIP.
Yeah.
MVP? Whatever. He's good.
More like MVZ. You get what I'm saying? Most valuable Zibanejad.
Right?
I don't know. That's it, Frankie Z. That's all I got.
That is it. That's a good show.
Yeah.
Become a member, folks. The member button's down below. It says join.
Member up.
Different levels, different membership levels. Choose the one you like. 3 different levels. And levels, Jerry. Putting in levels.
You're not cool unless you become a member and pee your pants.
If becoming a member is cool, I'm...
What did she say? I forget.
Like I'm Miles Davis or something.
Next week's going to be all fucked up. We'll be here Monday. And then Tuesday, not Wednesday. And then we have to see what Friday brings us because we're all traveling. So
stay tuned. We'll be around, though.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Yes, we'll be here for sure in one way, shape, or form or another. Thanks to J Sabs, Frankie C, all the live people. You guys are the best as always. Have a great
Thanks
weekend.
for sticking around.
Show me potato salad.
You guys are awesome.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.